He was a superstar freshman. Then a forgotten junior.
What do you think Saban should do from here?
I think Saban should bench him, make him the second string quarterback. That's what I think he should do.
He was a SEC Offensive Player of the Year. And then all of a sudden, the second best quarterback.
Still to be determined as to who's going to play quarterback for Alabama. So you can ask all the questions about it, but it's still to be determined. All right. Two of them basically missed spring practice due to an injury. Jalen had a good spring. Both guys have had great summers, and we're just going to have to see who wins the team in fall camp.
He was the guy who had to be benched for his team to win the big game.
Coach brought the quarterbacks together, and he made the statement that, Tua, you're going to start out the second half, and we're going to rotate the quarterbacks, see how things go.
Then he was the hero who came off the bench to rally his team to a conference championship.
Inside the 16, quarterback draw, Jalen Hurts, touchdown! I'm so proud of this guy for what he's done this year. I can't even tell you.
He decided to transfer, change his number, his hairstyle, and mindset, and a new man was born.
Second and 6 to the 14. Hurts off his back foot. Oh, what a nice throw. CeeDee Lamb, 14-yard touchdown. But look at the touch.
But let's start from the beginning. Born August 7th, 1998 in Houston, Texas, Jalen was around football at an early age. Around age 6, he was going to summer workouts with his older brother at Channel View High School, where his brother played and father was the varsity coach. He did all the agility drills and lifted weights. Well, the 2.5-pound dumbbells, that is. Always hanging around the older crowd, Jalen quickly became very competitive, which would work in his favor because he dominated the kids his age. He went on to attend Channing View High School in Channing View, Texas. His father was still the coach and coached Jalen his entire high school career. Is it just me, or does every player whose dad is the coach, they end up playing quarterback, or am I tripping? But anyways, his father didn't show any favoritism to Jalen. He treated him like his other athletes.
My sons get the same speech that all of my players get. It's not a different speech, it's the same one.
He was a second-team All-District selection as a sophomore and was named to the District 21-6A overall MVP as a junior. As a senior, Jalen passed for 2,384 yards with 26 touchdown passes and rushed for 1,391 yards and 25 touchdowns. He was rated as a 4-star recruit and was ranked among the top dual-threat quarterbacks in the class of 2016. He had about 20 offers, including Houston, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Arizona, and Alabama. Jalen proceeded to commit to the University of Alabama on June 5th, 2015. He quickly had a decision to make: play at the USA Army All-American Bowl or head to Tuscaloosa to help Alabama prepare to face Clemson in the national championship game. After an in-home visit from Alabama assistant Bo Davis and Lane Kiffin, his choice was clear. He graduated from high school early and enrolled at Alabama, and then arrived on campus just in time to join the practice squad before the national championship game. He mimicked Clemson Deshaun Watson while running the scout team, and his teammates saw enough to know that he would be a factor in Alabama's quarterback race the coming season. He was giving their starting defense squad a run for their money. Alabama starting center Bradley Bosman said, "Freshman Jalen was pretty impressive." The odds were stacked against his potential to win Alabama's starting quarterback job, though. Nick Saban never had started a true freshman under center, and Alabama's previous two quarterbacks, Jake Coker and Blake Sims, waited until their senior years to start. While Saban was committed to choosing a more experienced quarterback, the OC, Lane Kiffin, was blown away with Jalen's athleticism and running ability. Kiffin believed he would bring another key part to Alabama's offense, even if he wasn't the best at the throwing game just yet as the other contenders. Lane Kiffin was the one to recruit Jalen out of Channing View High, and when he went back to talk to Saban about Jalen, he told him that dude had the potential to be a first-rounder. So persuading Nick Saban to recruit him was one thing, but persuading Saban to start him as a true freshman was like asking a baby to share their food.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No.
But Jalen was given his shot late in the first quarter against the Trojans, replacing Barrett. He fumbled his first collegiate snap, but he quickly redeemed himself by throwing 2 touchdowns and running for 2 more scores in a 52-6 win over USC. Saban quickly started to see Jalen as a starter.
We made some errors early in the game that were costly, and we made some plays in the end that his athleticism allowed him to make. And I think as we grow with him, we're going to have to live with both. And I like the second part better than the first. He's a great competitor. He never loses his poise, but we need to do a better job of executing.
He really blew him away when just a few days after that win, Saban went to go talk to Jalen about some plays on film, and Jalen already knew what plays Saban was going to bring up because he had already watched the film, which blew Saban away because Jalen was only a true freshman showing upperclassman traits. The next week, Nick named Jalen the starter. Then against Ole Miss, he passed for 158 yards and ran for 146 yards, helping the Tide come back from a 21-point deficit in a 48-43 win. He threw for 2,780 yards and 23 touchdowns with 9 interceptions that season, and his completion percentage was 62.8%, and he finished the season with a quarterback rating of 139.1. He rushed for a total of 954 yards and 13 touchdowns, breaking the school's single-season record for rushing yards by a quarterback, surpassing the previous record of 791 yards. He finished the 2016 season with 36 overall touchdowns, breaking the previous record for touchdowns in a single season for the Tide, with a total of 35, which was set in 2014. He was the first player in Alabama history to pass for 300 yards and rush for 100 yards in the same game, and also the first quarterback to rush for 120 yards or more in multiple games. November 30th, 2016, he was declared as one out of the 10 finalists for the Manning Award, which is given to the nation's top college quarterback. As a freshman, Jalen led his team to win the 2016 SEC championship game over the Florida Gators and was named SEC Offensive Player of the Year, SEC Freshman of the Year, and Freshman All-American.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Well, no, do it right now. Why are you making it complicated? It's easy.
In 2017, he led the Tide to a 13-1 season, giving them a playoff spot as a number 4 seed, where they played Clemson in the Sugar Bowl. He was named the offensive MVP in that game in a 24-6 win over the Tigers. The next week, in the national championship game against Georgia, Jalen began to struggle as a passer and quickly scrambled when he felt like he couldn't complete a pass.
Been able to throw it effectively at all, so and I don't think it's just all the quarterback. I think it's the whole group. We got to get open. We got to protect better. And
he was then benched at halftime for true freshman Tua. Before being benched, he went 3 for 8 through the air, including 3 throwaways. On those 3 completions, Jalen target receivers were for a combined 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. When Tua came in, he started to pick apart the Bulldogs' defense. He threw a 41-yard touchdown pass to beat Georgia 26-23 in overtime.
Alabama wins! Coach brought the quarterbacks together, and he made the statement that, Tua, you're going to start out the second half, and, we're going to rotate the quarterbacks, see how things go. So we went from there.
After being benched, he was still a national champ and finished the 2017 season with 2,081 passing yards, 17 passing touchdowns, and 1 interception, to go along with 855 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns.
Your reaction when you found out Tua was going to start the second half, honestly?
He was going to step in and do his thing. We have a lot of guys in the QB room that play really well, and he stepped in and did his thing. Did his thing for the team.
Since the second half of the 2018 national championship game, his future was widely debated.
100% Tua all the way.
Tua.
Who's your guy?
Tua.
Why?
Because did you see the game? Did you see the national championship?
We did. We talked about it.
Hey, for me, I go Jalen. 26-2, he's gotten us there, and I say just give him an opportunity to lose his job. So I go with Jalen.
I think Jalen Hurts starts just because he's got the experience, 26-2.
That's why.
Saban's got to make that call, and it has to be the best person for the team. As right now, I think Hurts did a good job while he was there. I think Tal is got that adrenaline. He's got that drive. He's got that, I don't know.
Shut up, bitch.
Some suggested a position change.
Right after the game ended, Jalen Hurts, you'll never play starting quarterback for the University of Alabama again. I would have left.
Many suggested a transfer.
Let me be very, very clear. Jalen Hurts is not impressive. I'm just going to call it what it is. Somebody got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
3 for 8 for 21 yards. It was one of the most awful, deplorable, embarrassing, impotent performances that I have ever seen from a quarterback on the collegiate level. And I'm usually nice to college kids.
But Jalen Hurts kept quiet, kept his faith, and kept working to get better. His commitment to Alabama ran deep. Tua will be named the starter for the next season, leaving Jalen the backup role. He will get some playing time in the 2018 season, but not a lot. But then, at the same venue where he lost the starting job against the same opponent, he gained the ultimate redemption. Tua went down with a sprained ankle, and Hurts entered the game in which his team trailed by a touchdown with just about 11 minutes to go in regulation. And he didn't shy away from squeezing crucial passes into tight windows. He then threw a touchdown pass to tie the score, and with his second possession, he raced for the end zone on a 15-yard run to seize the victory as the final seconds approached.
Just inside the 16, quarterback draw, Jalen Hurts, touchdown!
In Alabama's 35-28 win over Georgia, Jalen was crowned a hero once again. He was praised for having the determination to stick it out at Bama when so many other quarterbacks would have just left.
Well, we've always had a lot of faith in Jalen, and I told him when we put him in when Tua got hurt, it's your time, and he certainly took advantage of it and did a fantastic job. I'm so proud of this guy for what he's done this year. I can't even tell you. Great comeback for our team.
During Alabama's team banquet after that regular season, he was voted by his teammates the most inspirational player, which is given to the players who affect the whole team by his attitude as well as his performance. Winner, warrior, competitor are just some adjectives teammates and coaches use mostly to describe Jalen. I think every competitor wants to leave some kind of legacy and be remembered in great fashion and go down in a legendary style, but I can't say that my story is over, Jalen stated. In only 3 seasons at Alabama, he played under 4 offensive coordinators. In only 1 season did he have a dedicated quarterback coach. Those conditions usually create problems for players playing in them, but Jalen went 26-2 as a starter and clearly improved even as he remained on the sideline for most of his junior season. On January 16, 2019, he announced via social media that he would be transferring to the University of Oklahoma for his final year of eligibility to team up with the then young coach, Lincoln Riley. He left for Oklahoma with a championship ring on one hand and a bachelor's degree in the other. And at Oklahoma, the version of Hurts that started to grow in 2018 fully blossomed. After all, the year-after-year successes of Oklahoma's transfer quarterbacks were nothing alike, but those quarterbacks were products of Riley's system, which his system is dependent on those quarterback styles, and each year he changed his offensive strategy to match the strengths of his then quarterback. In Jalen's first game as a Sooner on September 1st, 2019, he shattered Oklahoma's single-season yardage record in a debut, putting up 508 yards of total offense against Houston, previously held by Baker Mayfield when he put up 396 yards in total offense against Akron in 2015. This new man with a new haircut, a new number, and a new mindset was no longer jittery. He spent more time in the pocket behind the Oklahoma's offensive line. This version of Jalen had faith in his receivers that needed just a little bit more time to get open. That dreadlock Jalen had a passing chart that featured short passes and a sprinkle of mid-range looks, but this new man demolished the secondaries. He helped lead Oklahoma to a Big 12 championship and a spot in the playoffs. The Sooners' season ended with a 63-28 loss to LSU in a 2019 Peach Bowl. He recorded a successful season with 3,851 passing yards, 32 passing touchdowns, and 8 interceptions, to go along with 1,298 rushing yards and 20 rushing touchdowns. Jalen's college career is one for the history books. After coming in dominating as a true freshman, then giving up his position to a true freshman, deciding to stay one more year and becoming a hero again, then transferring his last year and having a standout season. Jalen wasn't a prospect for the draft while going into Oklahoma, but boy did he change minds after. Along the way, he has proven to be a leader, a pioneer, and even through those challenging moments in unique situations, Jalen has a standout legacy at 2 of the game's 5 winningest programs ever. He was taken in the 2nd round with the 53rd overall pick of the 2020 NFL Draft. After originally being named as the 3rd-string quarterback, he gained the backup position in Week 2, mainly so he can be used for quarterback running plays or as a decoy. I wish dude nothing but great success in the near future.
I'm blessed for it all, and I definitely say I'll never change anything that's happened in my life and in my career. I'm just talking about being placed with great people, whether it be at the University of Alabama or at Oklahoma. I'm having great coaches, being surrounded by great players, and kind of put me in the position I am. But